Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another video, and this is a paid request. For anyone interested in requesting any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, a full playthrough, re-review, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and we'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for guys. I really do appreciate it. As you can tell from the title, Final Destination Bloodlines is what we got. Now listen, if you like the film, that's fine. If you enjoy the film, that's fine. There are a couple films this year I've enjoyed. Companion, Hard Eyes, The Day the Earth Blew Up, the Looney Tunes film, Novocaine, Love Hurts, it's okay. But in my opinion, I think this has been a horrible year for movies. In my opinion. If it's not yours, cool, but it's my opinion. I think this has been a shitty year for films. And this film made over $130 million in the US. It's the biggest hit of the franchise. And that's crazy to me. But, hey, if people enjoy it because they go in, they laugh at the death scenes, they go home, that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. For me, it wasn't enough. To me, this was the same fucking film I've seen in Part 5, and Part 4, and Part 3, and so forth. I like the first two Final Destination films. I feel it's all you needed, in my opinion. But they do make money, so I'm alone in that. It also has to be the longest Final Destination film because we gotta take all this time to display to the audience shit we already know. So it's not really explained for the audience, it's so that the characters can catch up to where the fuck we already know about. So we're just waiting for these characters to catch up. Yeah, learn about death, learn about the rules, learn about what's going on. They don't believe you. They gotta make them believe you. And they gotta go see Tony Todd. And same old shit. The Bloodlines thing, to me, was not enough of a gimmick to be unique or interesting to me, because I didn't give a shit about the family. Okay? It could be the Buff fucking Brady Bunch for all I care. I don't care about this family. Okay? Whether it's the Partridge family or the Manson family, I don't care about this family. The death scenes, I swear, this franchise is parody now. It's fucking a parody. It's parody. I guess some of these scenes are like laughable, but I was thinking maybe you could do a parody of this movie, but it'd be hard to do and differentiate between the actual fucking thing and a parody of it. This is almost the same damn thing now. And it's the same fucking film you've seen over and over again. Even Friday the 13th switched it up. There's a fake Jason, and there's a zombie Jason, and the tone of Part 6 is very different from Part 5, which is very different from Part 4, which, hell, those are different from Part 1. More of a mystery. And that's saying something that Friday the 13th is has more variety than this. I did. Some could say it's like McDonald's. You go in, you don't want the recipe changed, you get what you want, you leave. I get that. And I love McDonald's. I don't think this franchise need to keep going, but again, obviously I'm wrong because it made a shit ton of money, so the people who greenlit that idea, they're laughing to the bank. And they'll make another one. I guarantee you there will be another one. They made too much money to stop now. Because you make another one and even makes half of this, it's still profitable. And then they make another one, even if they put in theaters or they put it to streaming, it'll be profitable. So there you go. Before I go on, the plot of the film, in the 1960s, there's this high-rise restaurant tower. This couple of white bread Wonder Breads ready to get engaged. They go up the tower, and God, there's a lot of CGI in this opening bit. There's a lot of CGI. So much of it. And this little turd of a kid keeps throwing fucking pennies, and he throws a penny, it gets stuck in a fan. I'm like, damn, these pennies are like industrial grade pennies, I'll say that. And the glass floor is creaking. I don't know who the fuck thought of having glass floor for up top, but you need to be sued just for that stupidity. Like, I mean, if they have this anywhere in real life, I never want to go. Because who the fuck would install glass floors, especially when you don't have a restaurant with fucking kids going me, and you know, doing a tantrum. One kid does one temper tantrum, everybody's fucking dead. So, the fucking moron that made this restaurant tower, that the floor is made of glass, must be made of molasses. So throughout it, and it takes a bit. There's the engagement, and then the bride to be, is seeing these visions where people, including her fiance, fall through the floor, and then the penny and the fan causes some gas to leak, and there's a fire, and there's an explosion. And to be fair, there are parts of this that I got a giggle out of, and I think it was on purpose. So I'll put it above the Daytona shit in part 4. Maybe I would put it above the bridge part in part 5. Because there's a little bit more variety of going-ons. Where you have the schmuck that gets squashed by an elevator. You have that little turd of a kid getting a piano dropped on him. I mean, little turd kids getting pianos dropped on them. Sometimes that will brighten your day. And I guess it brightened my day, because that was like the best part of the movie. It's like, fuck you, little turd. Sit on this with some piano keys up your little ass. Because he's the little dick throwing pennies that could have hit someone's head. And then he fucked everything up, little asshole. But then when it got to, it's like the girl and this little boy, and there's all this CGI debris falling down. It's not, the CGI's pretty bad on that stuff. It really is. It really is. And I would still take the first 3 opening disasters over this. Even though the roller coaster does have CG, but it's a roller coaster, is just more interesting to me. But then you realize it's a nightmare that the granddaughter had. So I guess you say they changed it up a little bit. But this granddaughter keeps having these visions. She's doing bad at school, so she goes back home. She has her younger brother, and they're squabbling. Didn't mean jack shit to me. Their mother left them, and later on she comes back, and there's friction with that. I didn't give a rat's ass about that, because no disrespect to the actress who's the lead. The character, though, they wrote her to be just very kind of blasé. Like, interchangeable with a lot of other characters you've seen in a dozen other movies. Same with the brother. They're just so indispensable characters. Or do I want to say dispensable? I don't want to say despicable. I don't want to say cyclical. Or unsexual. Or what the fuck word I want to say. What fucking word did you even say? Indispensable? Someone essential. So I meant the fucking opposite. See, this is a fucking movie making me insane. I'm saying the wrong fucking words. That's Death's design, to make my brain shit out of my ass. So I'm saying the wrong words. I said I make them non-essential, and I said the word to make them essential. I always have E to C and some fucking ecstasy in this bottle to make me give a fuck about this movie. So I just say woosah, woosah. So, dispensable. How about expendable? Asset. used to get the job done. Got it? How about I use that? And not use words that I don't even know what the fuck they mean, or I thought they knew what the fuck they mean, and I fucked up. Then this is all Death's design, by the way. This is all Death's design, and I'll be dead by the end of this fucking review, so don't worry. And this bottle will be shoved in my cornhole and coming out my ass, and this fly swatter will come hit the ceiling fan, and then this headphone's going to wrap around my fucking testicles and raise them to hit the ceiling fan and on the balls, and then it made me scream. And then this bottle is going to go down my throat, and then this can is going to go around my fucking eyeball. There you go, I wrote the script for Final Destination 7. At least the death scene. Give me credit. Even after death. Anyway, my whole point was, these characters, they're pointless at the end of the day, because you know I was going to end, and I was right. And they are just expendable assets. Like, they just didn't give a shit. At the end of the day, that was a whole tangent to just say I didn't give a fuck about the two leads. I mean, what, the younger brother, what his line is, "Man, I dreamed a hot dog ate me." Good. That means you're gay. You like hot dogs in your mouth. I don't know. Nothing wrong with that if you do. It's just not my preference. So they go and they talk to the uncle. And the uncle tells about his mom, which is the grandma that she had the dream of, about how me and your mother, we were the kids of her. Her name is Iris, which anytime I heard that fucking name, I kept thinking of Goo Goo Dolls. I don't want the whole world to see me. So anytime that fucking name was said, that fucking song popped in my head. I actually liked that song. To me, it was the best thing about that movie. Because I'm not a City of Angels movie fan, but I do like that song. Who the fuck rides a bike doing this? You're just ready to die at that point. If you're riding a bicycle and you're doing this, like fucking Meg Ryan did, if you don't die, you deserve to die, because you're too stupid to live. Imagine if, like, she did this, she ran into, like, a little kid. City of Angels 2, the lawsuit. Anyway. Fuck City of Angels. Again, I like the movie, but I like the song, but the movie's pretty stupid. Anyway. So he talks to the uncle says, me and your mom, when we were kids, she was very, very overprotective. And eventually, the lead is able to convince another family member to get some information and find out where this grandma lives. She lives in a bunker. Yes, and that's the Jamie Lee Curtis from Halloween 2018. I was ready for her to open the door and she have a fucking shotgun with one of those things around, ready to just like the fucking bitch in Netflix Stitches Massacre, trying to be Sally, and then Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween 2018. But no shotguns. Not this time. Maybe in the next movie. And she kept a book, and she was warning people, and she warned people back then and saved the lives. And like I said, it's a lot of build-up for stuff that we already know, or we already get, or we already... And I dare you to say, well, this time they're trying to tell a story. This time they're trying to tell a story. This time they're trying to establish characters. A bit more like the first film, only it failed. Because I didn't give a shit about the characters. And at the end of the day, she doesn't believe the grandma. She's leaving. Grandma Iris, she don't want the whole world to see her. She doesn't think they'll understand. She just wants you to know who she is. She walks out, and she's going to give her life because she needs to tell you, and seeing is believing, and a damn weather vane or whatever goes right through her mouth, which looked fucking ridiculous with the CGI jaw going. I laughed. Maybe at this point it is appropriate to just laugh at this shit. You know, really iffy CG. Because it's all gotta be CG. There might have been a few, maybe when the guy's crushing the elevator and the kid, I don't know, maybe they throw some practical, maybe. If so, maybe that's why I like those at the beginning. So the grandma dies, they're at the funeral, and the mom comes by, and the lead's like, I'm not going to see her because she abandoned us. And then the little brother's like, well, you did too. I'm like, why? Because she went to school? She went to college unlike you? What were you doing, jerk off? No, you're not crazy, you just don't care. Good, I don't want to care about your sorry ass. How about them apples? How about you steamboard off that roof? Okay? Go into a swimming pool that's not filled in. How about that, jerk off? So she doesn't go to the family barbecue, but everybody else is at this family barbecue. And you just see how, stupid people are. Which is true, there are a lot of stupid people. So, like, they break glass, and then there's a piece of glass in the ice, but then, like, I guess no one ever checks ice to see if there's anything like glass in it. Maybe I'm just more particular. If there's fucking ice, I want to make sure there's no bugs in it, nothing else in it, even a piece of fucking fluff, let alone fucking glass in it, but no. So then, this goes on for a lengthy bit. I get it, trying to build suspense. One line leads to another, this happens, a guy steps on glass, falls, and a fucking lawnmower goes to his head. Which, I've seen that death multiple times. I saw that in the Child's Play remake, which I actually liked that movie. A guy getting hit in the head with a lawnmower. I've seen that death already. Now, great, I get it. There's only so many ways you could kill different people, so that's not a valid argument, but it just... Okay, if I want to see that, I'll watch the Child's Play remake, which I like more because I like the characters more. I liked the story more. I liked that more as a movie. And at least it tried to do and be different from the original Child's Play and the other Child's Plays. The AI stuff and Chucky wanting to be a friend genuinely. I'm like, okay, that actually was different. Now, granted, different doesn't automatically mean good. But when done well, which in my opinion was, it could be effective. Sometimes I don't want to see the same thing over and over the fuck again. But that's why you judge each film on its own merits. Well, this and this, that means you're hypocritical. No, it means this movie did it better than this movie. They had the same idea, but if this one did it better than that, that's hypocritical. That means that movie did it better and that movie sucked ass in doing it. And of course, no one believes the lead girl. That's where we get that scene in the tattoo shop. That when that teaser or whatever came out, I thought this is a parody. Where the fucking chain goes and there's the fan, ceiling fan, and it hooks his nose ring and it's pulling him up. It's like, oh boy, and he's doing this. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is so stupid. And then it doesn't even make sense. Because what happens is, death goes through all this shit on a person it can't even kill. So why the fuck did death do this to a person that it couldn't even fucking kill? It's part of the plan. By the way, death must be like off his... he must be like a tired death. He must be like an old fuck death. Does this death in this movie have a cane that follows, does he, is that what it is? All the other movies, he could go kill people within a week, maybe a month. Here, here's 20, 30 years and it took you this fucking long? Granted, because the lady barricaded herself in. And it's like, well, I need to kill her first before I get to anybody else. But at the same time, with all the other ways you fucking cheat, surprised you didn't find a way to cheat this and go kill all the other people. But whatever. And again, why are you attempting to kill this guy Eric, the guy with the nose ring, when you can't even fucking kill him? Like, you're trying to kill him, but you can't kill him. Why? Because we find out, oh, the reason he didn't die is because he's not part of the bloodline. The mom fucked someone else. And to be honest, that guy Eric with the nose ring, that was the closest I came to liking a character in this movie. Number one, it kind of looks like Bam Margera, but only more sane version. Second, he actually had some kind of personality to him, where he like bust your balls, but then he would actually do kind of care about his brother. Even after finding out that he's not blood related, he still cares for him. Decides to go with him when they go on this journey to see this guy named GB, which is Tony Todd. And then he tries to find a way to save him, which his plan actually wasn't the worst. It's just they were at the in the wrong room, which I'll get to that. But you know, he seemed adamant in his care and not wanting his brother, even if not blood related, to die. I'm like, okay, this guy actually don't mind. Why can't he be the lead? That'd actually be interesting. That would have been an interesting take if this guy, who's not the typical lead, would be the lead. That would be more interesting. That would make me more intrigued. And like do more of that kind of stuff. But no, we can't do that because fuck it. You know, it's at the end of the day, it's gotta be the same shit anyway. I mean, this lead might as well be the lead in part 4 and 5, only she doesn't have a dick, she's got tits. Or might as well be the lead in part 2, only she's now full white. So let's go with the bland, boring lead instead of what could be the interesting, this side character, and make him the lead. But no, we can't fucking do that. So his nose catches the thing, the ceiling fan, and he went through all this and this fire, and Def couldn't even kill him because he's not on the list in the first place. So why the fuck did Def do that in the first place? Well, because you had to get him here. The two fucking leads were still on this goddamn same sidewalk anyway, so Def could have used them as part of the fucking plan anyway. So instead, this other girl, she gets hit by a soccer ball, put into a trash can, and this was so stupid. She gets lifted up, dumped in the trash, and then she turns to a cartoon character and gets crushed, and her head goes... I'm like, fucking... Jesus Christ. It made me laugh my ass off with how shitty it looked. I'm like, Jesus H. Christ, man. Parody. Talking just fucking parody. I was laughing. I would not say I was laughing my ass off, but in my mind I'm like, really? I know people like talking it up and praising. I'm like, okay, great CGI there. And that's when we find out the one guy, the reason he didn't die in the fire is because he is not blood related, which again, that makes me go, then why the fuck did Def try to kill him but couldn't kill him? Was Def drunk that night? It's like, yeah, it's that time of let me try to kill this. Oh, shit, he's not on the list. Fuck it, you're not dead. Doesn't make fucking sense. Just write the rules, as it goes along. Make up shit as it goes along. So then, this guy who has a peanut allergy, he is next. And him and the nose ring guy, tattoo guy, Eric, the two boring as fuck leads, and their mom, they go to see Tony Todd. I love Tony Todd. Rest in peace to Tony Todd. I can see in his mind, I want to do this because I don't want to just sit here and wither away. I want to do something. I technically have been part of this franchise since 2000. If I got a final role, obviously there's not Candyman or Night of the Living Dead, but I'll do this. But this was just, I didn't want to see this. I didn't. He looked so sick. Because he was dying. And just to see how thin he was, how frail he was, his voice, I was just depressed. I'm just kind of doing. I'm glad Tony Todd got what he wanted. Good on him. God bless him. May he rest in peace. But I didn't want to see that. You know, and then like you find out his character, the whole deal was he was part of that Skyview high-rise restaurant tower spiral thing. And in the vision, he was one of the last to die. Well, he was the last to die. And he says, you know, he's got this illness now, like cancer, and, you know, after you guys are gone, I'll be gone too. Enjoy the time you have left. There's two ways: kill someone or die and resuscitate. We do get information that Kimberly, the lead from part 2, did survive. I don't know about the cop, because he never mentions the cop, so I guess the cop died? Because he only says her. He doesn't say the cop was a Burke. I'm bad with names. Which I'm like, oh, that sucks, because I didn't mind him in part 2. I wonder how he died. Funny enough, if you watch Final Destination 3, there's a deleted scene. And in the deleted scene, there's like a newspaper clipping where those two characters from Final Destination 2 died. But, number one, that was a deleted scene. Number two, this, even if you thought, oh, it's a deleted scene, but it's, no, even that retcons that, so. Again, you can't even say it broke the curse because the final scene in Final Destination 2, that little kid blew up and his arm fell into the fucking barbecue or the plate or whatever. So that's what I mean. Like, so it doesn't break the curse. I guess it breaks the curse on you, not anybody around you. Because that kid died at the very last scene in Final Destination 2. They had that awesome song, "My Name is Death." So I don't know what happens to the cop. Is he alive? Is he dead? I guess he's dead, but don't know how he died, so I don't know. But interesting that the girl in Final Destination 2 lived, so that's, you know, there you go. That makes the film not completely pointless. I would like the cop to be alive. That'd be cool. But again, he doesn't mention it, so I guess not. I don't know. And also, so you mean to tell me that he was just a kid that was there back in the day? So then why was it in Final Destination 1 and 2, he was like sinister, and it was like playful, and I'll see you soon. Like, so he was a victim or possible victim of death, but he's like being playful. I'll see you soon. Like, I remember most people thinking, okay, he's an embodiment of death, or he's some other kind of thing. Him being this, when you look at his performances in the early films, it doesn't make a lick of fucking sense that he's acting that way. Now that you know who he is, explain me how his performance in part 1 made sense, or part 2 made sense, or even part 5 made sense. Especially in the first two. It doesn't make any fucking sense. So, because they made this shit up for this movie. Again, watch his performance in part 1 and part 2, and you tell me, with the mindset of, with the information you now have, that doesn't make any fun. Why is he being like playful about it and almost like Diddy happy about it or something? Maybe not Diddy, but it's like, if you've seen, you know what I mean. It doesn't make any fucking sense. So the guy with the nose ring, the guy I kind of like, he's like, well, wait a minute, we're in a hospital, you have a peanut allergy. Listen, you're not going to die. I'm not going to let you die. What other alternative do you have? Well, you don't kill someone? And then they have a funny bit where they see a baby, because it's a maternity ward, they go, no, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. And then the heirs like look in, and it's like, no. It's like, no, we're not going to do that, okay? It was dark humor, but I actually kind of laughed. Yeah, I like this guy I wish was the lead. But then, like, he's adamant and serious. I'm not going to let you die. You're my brother. That got more of a natural interest than the two leads as brother and sister. Because I bought that this guy wanted to protect this brother, even if we're now blood brothers, no matter what. But they picked the wrong spot. Now, granted, I don't know why the guy didn't just go, hey, wait, look. That thing's turned on by itself. We need to not be in here. Let's go into another room. Because you want to have a movie idea. So stupid writing. And then, I know Tony Todd says if you mess with Death's plan, things get messy. But there's still, even then, it goes against the rules. Since Death wants to be all about the fucking rules. That's why it's been waiting all these decades to kill the rest of his family, because of these rules. That seems like it can't bend them. It kills the guy, even though he wasn't on the list. All these other movies, you talk about how if you're not on Death's list, you're like invincible. How many movies do we have where people try to shoot themselves and it doesn't work and the bullet doesn't work, like in Final Destination 2? It did it again in Part 5. But now, fuck that rule, because that rule isn't pertinent anymore. Yeah, I know, but fuck you, you're just going to die anyway. And then puts him to the MRI because he has this metal stuff. Like nose ring, other piercings. Then he gets impaled. Then the other brother gets like a coil from a vending machine to his head. I'm like, okay. So all that's left is the two leads and their mom. They drive in an RV. They get to the late grandma's home. There's an explosion. It knocks the RV. The mom tries to help. She gets killed. I barely remember what happened to her. Something like falls, cuts her, whatever. Very forgettable death in my opinion. The brother gets his sister, resuscitates her. Everything seems fine. But again, if you've seen these films, you know it's not. I could see this coming a mile away. Oh, well, actually, you resuscitate. She didn't really die. Her heart didn't stop. So she didn't die and come back. So then this god-awful train derailment. It was almost as bad as fucking Super 8. If you remember that movie. That looks like a fucking superhero movie. Going off the rails and going by these houses. I'm like, is this like a sequel to Sky High or some shit? And then these logs come out and flatten them. Just remember the logs? Remember Final Destination 2? Yeah, I do. I'd rather be watching that fucking movie now. Because that and the first one I like. That opening in Final Destination 2 to me still has not been beaten. Compared to all these others. And they all die. big surprise because they all died in part 5, and they all died in part 4, and they all died in part 3. Big fucking surprise. Out of 6 movies, 4 of them, they all die. So I'm like, I bet they all die. And then I was right. Because you did the past 3 fucking times. This is the 4th time now. Everybody dies. Same old shit. And that's my problem. It's the same old shit. The plot is still the same old shit. The ending is the same old shit. The characters, other than that one guy with the piercings, just again, at least he had some kind of personality. The others, milquetoast blank ass shit. Tony Todd, rest in peace, but he tells the same information as he did in the other fucking films. And the reveal of who he is, underwhelming, to be honest. And again, it doesn't make sense when you look at his performance in the first 2. In part 5. But I'm just concentrating on the first 2, because those are the ones I actually like. The CGI is more and more. So the death scenes seem more and more laughable and more parody. And they're putting more and more CGI in it and more cartoon shit. It was a fucking parody. The Bloodlines shit wasn't interesting enough. The death scenes at times were just stupid. Too much goddamn CGI. Characters, most of them sucked. The ending by the cabin I thought was underwhelming for a finale. And took too long for it to really get going. I mean, you had the inciting incident, but then like took too long because we have to have the characters catch up to where the fuck we already are as the longest found destination, and it feels that way. At least at least 4 and 5 were bad, but they were short. They were like 80 minutes, 70 minutes. There's like an hour and 50 some minutes, and I felt it. So it was one of the more boring found destination films. Again, I would say the 4th one is probably still the worst one, but might be the most boring one. But it made over 130 million in the US. That'll make more. I guarantee it. It doesn't matter what I say. I find it ironic that, at the time, critics took a shit on the second film, but then they want to praise this film. I'm sitting there going, how you figure? But whatever. It's their opinion, and this is my opinion. So, disagree. If you disagree, that's fine, teach their own. But this was the same shit on the same day. Same shit, same day. Tired of these fucking movies, man. The first 2, I mean, are they the worst movies, worst franchise ever? No. I mean, I would put, the Leprechaun franchise is worse than this. I would say the Saw franchise is worse than this. Among others, but yeah. Take that for you will. Thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye for now.